Welcome to the Keisa Joe Show. We're live right here at the Filter Coffee Parlor down here on the south side. How y'all doing this morning? Y'all favorite evening morning ride. Not the evening ride, but it's the morning ride. We're here in the building, y'all. We got the beautiful Keisa. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I like the glasses. Okay. Got the color. Got the matching with the floor colors on today.
Coordinate.
Okay, John Witherspoon. Okay, John Witherspoon.
Coordinate.
Okay, I like that.
Only thing I don't have is the blue phone cover or the blue computer cover.
But how you doing this morning?
I'm doing super fantastic.
Really?
I have no complaints. I am. Oh, I'm doing super
how's your week
fantastic.
been?
It's been a week. The week has been weekend.
Oh, the week has been weekend?
The week has been weekend.
You mean like life been lifing?
Like life has been lifing.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
We're out. Joe, I always get so tickled. And I've told you this before, but entrepreneurship, and you can speak to this, is and we have Joy Everson, Realtor Joy Everson, coming up in just a few moments, talk about the real estate market. But people want to be that business person. They want to own their business. They want to be a boss and all of that stuff. Well, there's a cost to be the boss. So just ramping up production and relaunching with All Shay. And we're up at 6:00. Go to bed last night at 10:30, 11 actually, about 11:30. Just kind of working straight through, getting some orders done. Out this morning delivering. We'll be delivering a little bit later today. So it's just that entrepreneurial ride. And also, I just started a new business course that I'm taking to help with my accounting.
Okay.
So getting some education about that, because I believe in being educated if you're going to be a business owner, and just shoring up some things that I think are going to be able to help me. Why are you laughing? Yeah, why are you rolling your eyes?
Because I see you talking, right?
Okay.
America, listen.
America. Are you Bernie Mac or something?
It's like she want a cookie or a violin for, I'm staying up late at night. I'm getting up early in the morning. That's
not from you. Not from you.
No.
I wasn't saying it for a sympathy ploy or an empathy ploy.
I know.
What I was saying it for is the fact that sometimes people see us, we show up here, or people say, I want to be in business, or I want to be the boss. Right. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's a cost to that. Yeah. And nobody pats you on the back. Nobody gets me up. You know this, Joy, as it relates to real estate. We'll be talking to her in a little while. But nobody, and you know this too. You get up at 5:00 in the morning. Nobody's patting you on the back and saying, get up and let's go, let's do. No one has to tell us to show up here and do what we do every day. There's something that's an internal drive. So just for those who want to be,
I need some coffee. There we go.
Thank you so much.
Man,
right on
that's
time.
What I'm talking about. I need some coffee.
Oh, can we have some water? Oh, thank you.
So this is my favorite coffee. So you can go ahead on and talk. I got this.
So I switched it up. So enough about that entrepreneurial thing. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, and I think I just try to say it to encourage people, to let them know what really, he's so ignoring me. So I'm going to just talk to you. So I think I try to say it to encourage people who want. Exactly.
Did you say something?
I did. I say it to try to encourage people. If I'm not careful here, I'm going to waste my coffee. Who want to be an entrepreneur. But special shout out and special thanks to the folks here at Filter Coffee Parlor. Joe has his hot coffee.
One right there.
And he has his.
Get a napkin because she's
Yes, that'd be great. So Joe has his hot coffee.
Let me hold this for you.
I have an iced vanilla latte is what I have as well. Iced vanilla latte. Thank you so much. So again, we're here at Filter Coffee Parlor on the South Side. So I switched it up a little bit, Joe, and got a cold coffee today. I've been wanting to do it, and I'm like, you know what? Today is the day. Thank you so much. So that's about it. So just working. And
so before we get into this beautiful Joy sitting here, we talking about real estate, first time home buying, and all that good stuff. A lot of good stuff. And she just don't know. I got some trick questions I got for her. So
she can handle it.
I know she can. I want to ask you. I want to tip number one.
Yeah.
You know there's a hurricane coming.
Yeah.
I'm down in Florida. We want to say prayers.
Yeah.
Everyone is out there.
Yes.
And I want to say this to everybody out there that's listening, and share this video with the people you got in family in Florida.
I know what you're going to say.
Because it's time to leave.
Yep.
Right. It's best to be safe than sorry.
Yep.
You cannot save your home by sitting in your home. Take whatever you think that you need and get the hell out of there. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just being honest.
Yes.
If it's there when you come back, cool. If it's not, that's what you got insurance for.
Yes.
We'll rather have you here I'm quite sure your family members would rather have you here than you trying to hold on and buckle down. What is anticipated going to come through there? There ain't nothing man-made that's going to stop the destruction that's going to happen, right? So don't be saying this is a hoax. Don't be saying that you're not believing your government. This is a Democrat or Republican type stuff, man. Y'all need to get away from that. Real talk. Safety is safety. We care about you. This ain't a black, white, Republican, Democrat type thing. Just make sure y'all are safe. Get the hell out of there. Be safe. Wait till it's over, then go back and see what's all done. That's right. My advice to everybody out there.
That's right. Love. And if the leadership is telling you, we implore you to get out of there, that means go. And I'm going to echo what he says. That community, that area has already been leveled by a deadly storm just 2 weeks prior. Helena. Yeah. So they are reeling from that. But at the end of the day, I don't care if you drive. I was thinking, what if I lived there? What would I do? I don't care if I had to drive and go sit in my car, as long as I'm away from that area.
I'm coming up your house. I'm coming to Alabama. I'm coming to your house.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I'm going.
Listen, let me stay. We'll sleep on the floor. Just get in the path of safety. So if you, and maybe we're not as much talking to the folks who are in Florida, but if you have relatives there, let them come. If you all have to pile up and sleep together, or they sleep on the floor and make pallets on the floor, it's just, this is serious. Like hundreds of people. There is no way I would have anticipated that a couple hundred folks died from that last storm.
I know, because yeah.
So I'm with you. And while we're on that public service announcement,
yes, ma'am.
Can we go ahead and make another public service announcement,
bro? I say no anyway. As well.
You're right. Vote. We can go back and forth about the candidates. We can go back, and particularly for your presidential election. There are other elections, but you exercise your right. Make sure you're registered. Make sure that you exercise your right to vote. None of this talking about what I do doesn't matter. You have an opportunity to let your voice be heard. And me personally, I think that there is something that happens when we engage our civic responsibility. Mm-hmm. And so since we have this platform, okay, I just want to tell you to vote. I'm not going to stand and disagree and argue. You notice Joe and I don't really go back and forth about political things or anything like that. But I will say again, got a little time, see where you're registered, check out that information so you can vote. I implore you to do that. It is a pivotal time in our country. It is a pivotal election, okay? Either side of the fence that you're on, again, vote. That's my best shot.
What's it? And I've said this before. I'm not gonna go through the litany of it anymore, but I'm just gonna say, the national election is great. Hee ha ha. But nothing is done on the national level until it becomes local.
Yes.
Senators. Okay?
Yes.
Think about what I'm saying, y'all. Okay, your senators and House of Representatives, they come from local states. If anybody give you a civics lesson, okay? They come from the different states. They go to Washington, D.C. to vote on the bill, right? The bill goes up to the vice president. Goes up to the president, okay? And he can veto the bill or whatever, but it has to pass Congress. Congress is the people that you send from your local municipalities where you are. So the president and the vice president, that's nice. It's like the cream of the crop. But to get the bills passed that affect your life daily, those are the local people that you need to vote for and really study. The people who's going to be at the top, they can't do anything unless the House of Representatives and the Senate does it, which we call Congress. So you need to vote and study locally.
Good point. Right?
Locally first.
Good point.
Because the people that you're sending to Washington is going to Washington to vote on bills for you and your family. That's the real importance that we miss when we get all the figureheads and the name brand Trumps and the Harrises. That's fine. I'm happy for them. But that's just a talking point, real talk. That's the figurehead, because they cannot do anything without Congress. If the bill don't sit on the desk, the president's work is dead at the end of the day. Okay, there's nothing for them to say nor do. They can write an executive order. That's about all they can do, and they can only do that to a certain point. Okay, so please understand, at the end of the day, your vote is most important when you're voting locally. Study your people locally, and then whoever you happen to vote for, whatever side you may be on, right at that point in time, you vote for them too. So locally is where you really need to study.
Thank you very much for that. And vote local. Make sure you're registered. and make sure that you are informed. Read up on your candidates, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how I will end that. Let's not look at the hype, not look at the headlines. Read and get information for yourself. Okay.
And also, I love to bring a Democrat and Republican on the show.
I would love to as well, but how do we do it? How do we get that done?
That's simple. Because people want to talk, right? And I think we can have the conversation without denigrating one another, right? Because I think sometimes we need to bring people in the room together to see where we are. Because I don't care about our differences. What's our commonalities?
Yeah.
That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Show, right? Yeah. Do your family sit down and eat at the table like we do?
Yeah.
Right? Do you pay bills like we do?
Yeah.
What's important to you, right? And I think if we sat down and we talked about what's important to us, right? We'll find out whether you're Democrat, Republican, black, or white, right? You'll find out at that point in time that you have more in common than you have separate. You know what I mean? And when we were talking about politics and voting, you got to come from a house. You got to be, you got to leave your home to do that, right? You got to build a home. You got to have a family to go do that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder, do we have anybody that we can talk to, about buying homes? You know what I mean? Anybody that we can talk to that got some kind of experience about, because
I think we do. I think we do.
Live in an apartment right now that's voting that may possibly Keisa want to buy a house.
May possibly.
Want to get their dream home.
Possibly.
Why don't we bring somebody? Keith, why didn't we invite somebody on the show to talk about homes today?
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yes, we did. Joy Everson. I see it's Joy Everson Real Estate Group as part of Realty South is what I see now. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's just me surmising on the spot with her para there. So hey, Joy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you
Joy
for having me.
and Joy is not only a realtor. Help me with this. Associate broker or broker? You're a broker.
Associate broker.
You're associate broker. Yes.
Okay.
Which means you really come under a broker who owns a. Help me understand a role as an associate broker, or can you?
Sure. Yes, I sure can. Yes. So you have salesperson and you have brokers. There's only one qualifying broker, which is like a manager over a branch. So once you have that one qualifying broker, then all of us who hold broker's license are associate brokers. Yes. So you can have several associate brokers in the office as well.
And that's a level up. There's another test because in all transparency, absolutely. In all transparency, I thought this was really good conversation to be able to talk to Joy. She's someone I've known and respected professionally for a while, I will say, and has always been so helpful. I hold a license as well, a real estate license, but I'm very transparent in that after being in it a couple of years, Joy, I was just like, this isn't my burning passion. I've always had the mentality as an investor. Okay. Always had that, and talked to someone at the time and they're like, well, why don't you just go ahead and get your license and go out and sell? You have to really be careful. Because if that's not who you are, it's just not going to work. So I did it for a little while and thought, oh yeah, I'll go out and sell some houses until one day I determined this isn't me. But I'm keeping the license.
Ma'am. Absolutely, yes.
Joy, I'm keeping the license.
Yes.
So before we even get into the home buying environment, there are a lot of people who say, man, maybe I should go and get my license as well. There are other things you can do other than just sell.
Yes.
Obviously, that's the goal.
Yes, correct. So a lot of times the outside looking in, it looks better until you actually get in there.
It looks so glamorous.
Yes. So a lot of individuals find out once they get their license and begin to practice that maybe it's not what they thought it would be.
Yeah.
Whether excuse me, it may have been sitting at the table with experience on a purchase and they're looking at the amount that the real estate agent may be getting or what have you, may help pique their interest. Or some people just like decoring homes, going in homes, looking at homes or what have you. So they may have that desire to go ahead and get licensed. So once they get licensed and start the actual real estate industry, well, sometimes they find out that it's not what they thought it would be. Yes, because I think that first, we need to understand that although we work up under a company, it's still your own business. So it is a part of entrepreneurship. And I think that may be a lot that people really don't think through before getting their license. So therefore, basically, nothing is handed out to you. This is your business that you got to go grind and make it happen. Yes. And so with that, in your case, your license and individual can decide to put them inactive, or you can still hold them active and not just work with clients or customers. However, there's a thing such as a referral branch, referral system. So you can use that to be able to still make an income from it by referring your clients to me, so to say, customers that come to you, and I can service them for you, and then you would receive a referral commission. So, and there is something you can do still with the license and not actually be in the field.
And there are agents who are running that play all day and night.
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
They're running that play all day. Like I know some people who know some people, but I'm not going to get out here in the field because it is work. And I wasn't even intimidated by that. This is transparency, true story.
Yes.
It was the fact that because I was in it, it's just not my passion. And to me, real estate, and when I say passion, I mean the selling part. Okay. Love real estate, way to the American dream.
Yes.
Buying, selling, or investing.
Right.
But as far as being in the throes of it every day, so I say that to encourage someone, maybe even some people, because what I found when I was in it kind of studying, there was a great falling away. Like a lot of people were in the industry and sometimes they fall away when they see.
Right.
So I love the fact that you're saying there are other things that you can do as well in the industry. So I'm not discouraged. But I'll say this again, Joy. I'm keeping the license until I figure it out.
Yes.
But
I always recommend individuals before you just let your license go, put them inactive. You know, all you have to do is sit in on your CE, keep them renewed every 2 years. That is so much better than if you ever decide down the road that you want to get back in it and have to go back to school.
Not doing it.
Back to taking the real estate courses over again, back to taking the state exam. No. So once you've obtained them, I mean, yes, I would definitely keep them. There is no way. I actually am a licensed cosmetologist as well, managing cosmetologist. I came down from master because I didn't do the CEs for that, but I would never let my cosmetology license go. So I feel you.
Yeah.
Never let your real estate license go.
Keep it. Yes. Keep it because there is it's grueling. I mean, to take the exam. So you pass the exam.
Ooh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. You don't let it. You just hold it, put it inactive, put it to the side.
Yes.
Because you may want to come back to it later.
Certainly.
You know what I mean? But I found at 52, Joe, I didn't have the stamina to go out there and be getting it, knocking on doors. I did it and it was like I woke up one day and I was like, hold on. Now, don't get me wrong. I have this mentality. No matter what, if I'm going to give 100% to something, plus 100% plus time equals success. I was giving 100% to it, but I thought, do I want to spend the next 5 years doing it or 10 years doing this?
Correct.
Joy, you've been in it for how many years?
Keisa, I've been in it for 21. I was licensed in December of 23. Took all of my bar classes January, February of 2004. Did I say 23?
You said 23.
I've been in it since
what math she did? I'm like, what kind of math you doing over there? But okay, I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm glad you said it because I'm like 20.
Right. So I've been in it since December 2003.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Took all of my bar classes in January of 2004 because I just wanted to have all that done before I hit the ground running. And so that's what I did. And I've been successfully working in it since then.
You have been. You're boss. And and there are lots of real estate professionals that I know and that I work with, but it is I think you and I have just connected.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we've connected, and how can I say it? I believe in a sincerity. So I wanted you to come on, and she probably thought it was weird that she's like, Keisa, you're an agent too. Yeah, but that's not my passion. And I'm secure about that, number one. And then number two, Joy and Joe, we're all in this thing together.
That's right.
And so I really can't take, I don't believe what's for you. I really don't believe you really can't take what's for me. So if we have the scarcity mindset, I can't have joy. No, let me bring you on, because you have a different perspective. I have a teeny weeny perspective at 1, 2, 3 years in. You've been in this thing for over 20 years. That's veteran. And this is all you do.
It is. Yes.
You do some other things too, because you're an entrepreneur. You're a serial entrepreneur. You know what I mean? You do, and I so feel you on that. But I love your spirit. If you're looking for a home, I recommend Joy. I recommend that you work with her. I like her spirit. I like her attitude. I mean, of course, you try it out for yourself, but I think it's important when you talk about buying a home. You want someone who's going to be prayerful because all the process. Well, I mean, it's all the processes, and we're going to get there as well. But I do recommend her. I personally really like her, as a person, but also as that person who's been in the business. And I have other friends too. I mean, who I would say are great as well, who are boss in it. But I think it's really, when you get to something, when we talk about what is one of the largest purchases you'll ever make. You want somebody in the trenches, don't you, Joy?
That's right. Yes, you do, Keisa. Yes. Somebody you feel that you can trust, somebody that you're going to be able to conversate with, somebody that the spirits do agree, because there are times that we can't work together, and we have to be okay with that, as being business owners. And we definitely want to get that contract and get to that closing table. Check. But there are times that we fire people and people may fire us, and it's okay.
Yes.
We have to agree, disagree, and be okay. And that's what I've learned in the business, and it's okay with me.
Yeah. Because as an entrepreneur too, time is money.
It is.
So while you're wasting time fighting with someone else, or they don't understand, because a person has to trust you in that purchase.
Certainly. Yes.
And I want to talk about, I want you to talk about what process a person should take, because I became a realtor. I don't know if you know my story. I became a realtor after I went through selling my home. I didn't know you then. And I know the realtor to this day, and she really is a friend, but she didn't really give me, and I'm not mentioning her name, so you wouldn't know, or you all would know. She didn't give me that grade A experience though, that I would have wanted, and that I gave people as a realtor. I'm very thorough. I over communicate. I'm going to make sure you understand. I educate. And maybe that's why I got worn out, because I was educating so many people about this is the process. I'm very transparent. I gave people everything that I didn't get. Okay. And sometimes that could be almost to your downfall, because sometimes with people, this is bad to say. Some people don't appreciate that transparency. Some people just want you to just tell them what to do, and this is what you need to do, and they go and follow.
On point.
Yeah.
So on point. That's so on point and correct. Yes. It seems like the ones you nurture and pour more into, those are the ones that will turn their backs on you, But again, you have to know that you've done your part. I've been professional. I've done my part, and that's all I can do.
And I'll say this, and I'm going to let you jump in, because I know you're letting me cook, bruh. Thank you. Because I get passionate about it, because my community in particular shies away from that home buying process. What do they need to do if there is even an inkling or a thought, I'm not really ready? What do they do to make that first step, even down to reaching out to a realtor? Does it, financially? Tell them, Joy, what's the first step they need to do?
Yes. So I would say, when you feel in your heart or get the desires that you want to become a homeowner, then you should do just that. And steps to take to get you there would be, think about all the time that you've been renting. Do people really realize that when you're renting, you're building the landlord? Are you ready to build something for yourself?
Thank you.
Are you ready to have something for yourself? And then you look at the renting versus the buying, and you want to go ahead and seek out to a real estate agent or a lender, but have a talk with them. Find out the things that you need to do, what needs to be prepared to get you on the road of home ownership. Sometimes I think that they feel it's so much that you have to do in order to get there, and they feel that they're not ready. But perfect example, I had a young lady to call the office doing OT, opportunity time. I answered the phone. she called and she wanted assistance looking for a home to rent. So my question was, why would you want to rent versus buying? Okay. And each individual should ask themselves, why am I renting versus buying? That may help you jump. Go ahead and get off the fence and do it. But she said, well, because really, I never thought I could buy. Never thought I could buy. I said, well, how long have you been renting? Been renting a long time. Ask a few questions, maybe about where your credit score may be, accounts that you have. Have you been paying on time? Because you want to pay on time within the last 12 months. Are your balances high? Are your balances low? And needless to say, I said, come on, let's have a talk with the loan officer. She got with the loan officer, pulled a credit. They were ready to buy. But no one had taken the time to slow down, ask them a few questions, educate them. Educating is very, very, very vital. Very, very important. Once you've educated the consumer, that gives all of us a level ground, I would say, a ground of understanding, being on the same page that we can now move forward to get through the next steps that we've got to get through. But when you're trying to just grab a consumer, moving forward, not telling them about the process and all of that, it makes it a little harder, a little more difficult. You know, it seems that you run into a little more this and that with it when you just educate them, and it helps them to a little more smoothly get through the process. So just educating that individual who approached for renting, you know, and that's a part of me taking ownership of my business. No, I'm going to try to find out why we're not buying. And they were able to buy and actually close them.
All right. So great information. If you guys are just locking in right now, you're locking into the Filter Coffee Parlor on the Keisa Joe Show. This part of the show is brought to you by Shea Butters. How can they get that Shea Butter?
SheaNaturals.com. And I have some for Joy. I brought you a lip scrub.
If you guys want to know how Shea Butter looks, just look at my glowing skin because I have it on right now. So
this is our male model, so he knows he will be supplied with Shea Butter for a lifetime. All Shea Naturals, allsheanaturals.com, ALLSHEA naturals.com. 10 code VIP, all caps, will get you 10% off.
Go get yours today. I highly recommend it. So
thank you.
And I like everything you guys were saying, but I'm sitting here as a single man. Okay, in the dating world.
That's right. Turn to him, Joy. Get ready.
No, because this is what when I date, right? I go out and I talk to different women.
Yes.
And you know, I'm about buying houses, but a lot of women would say, you know, yeah, I want a house, but this is the biggest thing that I've heard women say about buying a house. The ones that got the credit, got the money coming in, and everything is straight.
Okay.
Some women do not want the maintenance of a home.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they say it's easier for me to rent because if I need something fixed, the landlord is going to fix it. Right. And I used to go back and forth with women on that. Where I'm like, well, that's all well fine and dandy, but you should be able to make enough money. But I'm gonna ask y'all ladies this really real talk, right?
Oh, this is great.
What is
this is great
and the cons about that? Because
this is great.
I think I see, you know, I would rather for the woman to go get a house, but is that a real knack and is that a real problem? Because
this is great. Great question.
Yeah, the house fine is mine.
This is great.
But the problems are mine too.
Right. That is.
So from the roof to the AC to getting the lawn,
this is great.
To turn my bonds and all that other good stuff.
This is great.
To that, Joy and Keisa.
Yes.
What say y'all?
What say y'all? That's a great question.
Love it. It is. It is.
You want to start, baby?
We can. Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to start?
Okay. So yeah, it is. It's a great question.
Yes.
And we do have a lot of females that do have that little fear, you know, and I say little fear because you can get over that if you, again, education and understanding, okay, and understand that they're like home warranty programs. There are some things that they can do to help give some of the protection, help lighten some of the load, some of those things that may go wrong, may be able to be fixed at a, you know, reasonable deductible or what have you. So just some conversation about it, how to be able to overcome those obstacles of concern that they may have, maybe something that smooths it on out and allows them to go ahead and be a homeowner. And yes, you may have yard maintenance, all that. There are individuals that are faithful, that are dependable, and will really keep your yard up on a consistent basis, reasonable price, and take care of you.
Okay.
Come on, laughing at how they just volleyed to me. So as a woman who moved out with my mom when I was 18, 19, became a homeowner at age 30. From about 30, and I made a decision how many years ago? 2019, 2020 to sell my home for business capital. But so being a homeowner from like 2002, so 18 years, all of those concerns are valid, but that's where that conversation comes in with your realtor, or you go and sit down and you talk. And what we don't do is we don't ask questions. Go and talk to someone who owns a home. So the ladies who are talking to you, they should be saying, Joe, what does this look like with you having, if you own a home, or, Joy or Keisa, I'm thinking about buying a home, or whomever, to say at homeowner, what is the process? What is the, how often do you have to change your, or look at replacing a roof? What about maintenance every month? What about this? What about that? What has been your experience? I had a great realtor who, she was a friend when I first bought my home, not the selling process. When I first bought my home, I chose the home. I just happened to choose, with her help, a great home that needed very little maintenance. So when I bought it, it was a garden home. Stayed in that home 18 years. So it was a community that probably, those homes may have been 4 or 5 years old. It was a foreclosure. So it was just, I kind of stepped into something that was really, really good. So that's my first answer, which is have a conversation with your realtor or friends or family who are homeowners, and let's see what that monthly maintenance really looks like. Because the roof and mechanical things breaking down, and the AC unit and all of that doesn't happen every day. Right. So the things that we're really concerned about, they just keep us out based on fear. Secondly, I would say I would really lean on the real estate professional. I'm looking for a house. My concern is this. That real estate professional can help you through talking to the other agent, through researching that home. You can find out about those major systems, the roof and the AC unit and all of that, to make sure the plumbing, all of that is handled through an inspection. You can make sure those systems are okay, or will be okay, to get for you to at least get in the house and get accustomed to paying. So again, information, asking questions. Third, this final one, and this is, I'm giving you straight from my experience, because I want to, if fear is the reason, we're going to kick that out today. Yes. If fear is the reason that you're hindered, or lack of information, we're going to kick that out. And even if you all have questions, I need you to ask, because you've got the real estate professional here who's in it every day. Okay. So third, when you talk about things like, mowing the lawn, I got my tail out at between 30 and 40. I mowed my own lawn. I purchased a lawnmower.
You can.
I mowed my own. That was my exercise, my weekly exercise. And I had a pretty nice size yard, but it was exercise. If I didn't want to do it, I'm going to give you I'll throw out a price range. I got with a guy who cut my yard, and I paid him about $70 every 2 weeks, front and back. And I had a pretty nice size backyard, pretty hefty size. But I paid somebody, I could afford $70 every 2 weeks. That's cutting out eating fast food, two, 3 meals a month. Okay. That's doable. Or another thing, get with people like Joe Lockett and ask him who he knows that can cut the yard, or get you a network of friends or guys who can help you. We can excuse anything and say, I don't want the maintenance and all of that. You're still making someone else rich. Do you hear my passion in this? I'm sorry. You're letting me. Joe is quiet.
But I think women need to hear that from women, because when I do talk to the women, I stopped trying to convince them, but then I started to come at them to say, okay, real talk, if you buy a house, and after you get the house, you need about $3 to $5 grand in the bank.
Yes.
On lock.
Have you some money in the bank.
I just tell people you need $3 to $5 grand. If you don't have $3 to $5 grand in the bank after your closing, you probably don't want to get a house. Because let me just tell you something. If you're buying a used house, what goes wrong what can go wrong will go wrong.
Yes.
9 times out of 10. Okay. Your biggest expense, as both of you have stated, is your roof. So you can make sure that the house that you buy has a good roof on it. When was it put on? Most roofs, they said 30 years, but it's about 15 to 18. That didn't really last.
That's right.
So if the house is between the 8 and 10, you're going to be needing a new roof pretty soon, depending on if you got trees or the sun and exposure.
Correct.
So I tell people to think about those things. I also find out how old the AC unit is.
That's right.
There is no inspector. Let me say this. There's no inspector or no AC person coming in and tell you your AC unit gonna last for the next 2 to 3 years, unless it's brand new.
Right.
You can get in the house tomorrow,
And it can go.
and they checked out, and it will, and it can, and sometimes it does go out.
Yeah.
And then when you call the warranty people,
Yeah.
okay, the warranty folks, it's a pain in the butt,
you know,
okay, because they're gonna come out whenever they come out, right?
Mhm.
And you got to pay a deductible, and you
You
mad
do.
now because you just got your house, okay?
Yeah.
So these are the things I tell people. That's part of it.
That's right.
People don't tell you the actual truth about how some things are because, either it's glamorized, it's kind of floated over. But at the end of the day, these are the things that can happen. But the beauty part of it is, when you buy a house, in most cases, not 1,000% guaranteed, your house will increase in price at some point, right? Even if the market goes down,
That's good.
Your house
That's
will increase
good.
the point. If you're renting, right, your house will never increase.
Never.
If you ever get in financial bind and you want to sell, right, you can sell your house and you can you can get money out of your home. You'll never be able to do that. And you'll never be able to do that when you're renting. So it's just depending on if you plan on staying in something and just where you are in your life. I tell my daughters all the time, buy your small house, right? Because when you don't buy a big house, you don't have to impress
that
everybody.
part.
You know what I'm saying? Get your 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 2 bath, right? Get your little garden home. Because you'd rather be an asset to a man than be a liability.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So because your worst case scenario is you want to know that if you leave me, now I'm not asking y'all to get a divorce, it may happen, but stuff happens. Okay?
That's right.
And if it happens, you want to be able to know that I can go take care of myself
if
this does not work out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's easier for you to sell your house and get a house with somebody else.
That's right.
Than come to find out that you ain't got no credit and then you're trying to build some stuff and y'all trying to get it together, right? So get all your stuff together before you get with that man. Ladies, this is what I tell them. Get your stuff together. Because if you can only rent, probably your critics say you can only rent, which means you're a liability to your husband. I don't care how y'all look at that, but
that's right. That's right.
At the end of the day. Make sure you got anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 in the bank, right? And well, Joe, that's a lot. Well, you need to figure it out.
Yeah.
At a young age, figure out how to put, start to putting up money. Okay, let me tell you. I tell people how to do it. Okay, $100 $100 a month is how much? $100 a month, right?
That's right.
That time 12.
1,200.
That's 1,200. So 1,000 in 1 year, you got how much?
1,200.
If you're 25 years old, say by age of 30, how much you gonna have and by the time the age of 30 if you do that?
If you're how old?
If you're 25 years old, by the age of 30, yes, 5 years.
So about 5,000 to 6,000.
So by that
give
time,
yourself 5 years,
you
to
either
save
got a
some
down
money.
payment for your house,
that's right,
or you got that money in the bank.
That's
you
right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the earlier you start that process, and and if you're not making money, you blow $200 or $300. So I'm just saying $100 at least.
That's
if
right.
You did $50 a paycheck, right? If you're getting paid every week, you're saving at least $200 a month. So you
come
got
on, Joe. Educate them.
But I'm just saying at the end of the day.
No, I'm saying, come on, that's good.
I'm just saying,
that's great.
I'm just saying for ladies, right?
Come on, Joe.
And men, right?
Yes.
Where you out there doing all this stupid stuff and all the stuff that gets you in trouble or you're spending money.
Come on now.
You can also put yourself in position to make sure that when you do have a child or when you get somebody pregnant or you decide to get married, you're in position to make sure that you're good. Stop buying a brand new car. Buy your used car.
That's right.
When you buy that car that you bought brand new, right? When you bought that for 5 years, you're not going to get that money back.
That's right.
If you pay for a house for 5 years, it then went up in price. So you can sell that, but your car is ragged. You didn't tore it up, you didn't wreck it or whatever, right? And now you got to buy a whole nother car. That's $30,000 or $40,000 that you didn't pay for something that they devalued. So these are the things you need to think about. Yes, go get a cash car, but you can get a nice cash car, or you can get your car for $10,000 that's probably 3 or 4 years old,
right?
That you own, right? And that car probably gonna last you longer than the brand new car that you got, right? But now you got a house, now you got a car that's paid for, but you're in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? Your early 20s. So I just tell people, it's up to you. It's people say you're making the real estate agent. I mean, you're making your the least person rich. You're not really making them rich. You're just making yourself poor, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not doing anything for yourself because they made a business decision.
Turn around that way. It's good.
But what you're doing for yourself is you're not investing in yourself.
That's
you
right.
decide to invest in somebody else's whatever they decided for their dream. And that's okay if that's what you want to do. But are you going to say, well, I'm going to invest in your dream because I'm afraid to go after mine?
You better go after your dream.
It's something that you need to think about, right? And anything that's worth having, you got to pay a price for it.
It is.
And I tell women that the price that you need to pay is $3,000 to $4,000.
That's
if
good.
you don't have that kind of money, I'm going to tell you, don't get into a house.
That's good.
Real talk, because you're going to get in trouble. Things in a used house, it will happen. Right?
In a new house.
There's some things that, it's just unforeseen. So I'm going to say, and I know a lot of real estate agents are going to get mad as hell at me for saying it, but I don't care. You need about $3,000 on ice.
Yeah.
Right. 5 may be a stretch for you, but you need about $3,000 on ice because if you get an AC unit, you want to be able to put a nice down payment on it because you want to have a mortgage and then you got to buy a brand new AC unit, right? So you want to put half down on it. AC unit costs anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000.
Sure do.
Depending on what size house that you have. Okay?
Correct.
And prices are going up. If you're getting a roof can cost you anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000, depending on size roof, what size pitch you got on your house, right? So these are the things that you can think about, right? But people need to tell y'all the true cost and the true risk that you're getting into because it is an investment. And in an investment that you do, whether it's in yourself or it's in stocks, there is a risk involved, right? And so there's nothing guaranteed or perfect, like a lot of people like to try to paint to you. But what I tell you is, I rather invest and risk on myself, right, than to let somebody else take all my money. And at the end of the day, if I have a child, I have nothing to leave them behind. I mean, so just think about those things, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we got a real estate agent, or 2 real estate agents in the house right there today. If I'm saying anything wrong, go ahead and let me know.
No, you're correct. And I like that because that's where a lot of the problem is. The wisdom, the information being provided. And it was making me think about how we would go to the church mothers, or you go to a grandmother or to an auntie, talk to them and ask them questions about that to get you some educated wisdom to be able to help you into that. But a lot of them don't do that. Right. They're going to ask the friend. The friend don't know no more than what you know.
Thank you,
so
Joy.
They're going to tell you, no, don't go buy no house. No, don't go do this. No, why not? As long as you're educated, take a few minutes out of your day, listen to what someone is sharing with you. It may very well be some valuable information to help you make an educated decision, and also think about, we always say we want to leave something for our children. Well, home ownership can lead you into a generational wealth, an opportunity to leave something for your children if you set yourself up right, like Joe was explaining. I love that. That's great.
And the other part I would tell people is, I own a home, right? Buying a home. And for me, I have a mortgage cost. My mortgage is just not my mortgage. My mortgage is also my maintenance of my lawn care.
Come on now.
Because I don't own a lawnmower. I'm not buying a lawnmower. I'm not picking up with the lawnmower. I don't do that, right? So whatever extras that you want, like you want to cook, you want to maid, that's your mortgage, right? And you can set yourself up for so much success by when you sit down and say, I'm gonna buy a house, I'm gonna have a maid. It don't cost that much to have a maid come in 2 or 3 times a week to clean your house.
That's right.
It don't cost that much to have your grass cut twice a month.
That's right.
Those are luxuries that you can have if you sit down and you plan what you need to do, and you can be living. You can be a boss.
Yeah.
I mean, I live a boss life.
Yes.
I mean, I'm having I don't cut grass. I sit in my window with my lemonade and watch my man cut my grass.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Or I come home and my grass is cut. If I'm out in the back, right?
Good.
But I'm just saying, you got to think bigger and what it looks like and what it feels like. Do you want somebody living on top of you, on the side of you, and at the bottom of you? Right? You know what I'm saying? Or do you want somebody, when you tell them to come fix something in your house, they never come fix it? Because you can't fix something in the lease home now.
Right.
Y'all saying y'all want somebody to come fix it. A lot of times they send the worst person to come fix the stuff in their house.
That's right.
You're still stuck with that problem.
That's right.
Or do you want to take control of that? So I'm just going to say, ladies and gentlemen, take your time, educate yourself, right? But get your money right. Get your credit right. If you get your money right first, you get your credit right, everything else is going to pay itself out, whether you get the house or not. If you got your money right and your credit right, you can do a whole lot of money.
You can. Yes, you can. Yeah. And I like that about the budgeting, because the young lady I mentioned, or the couple that called about renting. Okay. So Michelle and Tim Hollins, and I can mention their name, they don't mind, but they came with a sheet, a budgeting sheet.
Wow.
So they knew what their monthly expenses were.
Wow.
Car notes or power bill, everything that they were paying. And I mean, they were like early 20s. Okay. So the mindset that they had already was great.
Right.
It was grand. So going into home ownership, I felt like they could do nothing but succeed.
Yeah.
And they actually did end up purchasing down in Eufaula, which is where they were from, and rented out the one that they had here. So not only, were they homeowners, but they became
investors and property
as
owners,
well. Yes.
property managers.
So,
wow.
you need to look at your budgeting factor. How are you budgeting where you are right now? It really will determine what will happen as you go down the road, unless we make a change. But take a look at it, see what you can afford.
And I'm going to say this to a lot of the people, right? Stop trying to get what the Joneses got.
That's right.
Absolutely, yes.
Come on,
yes.
Joe.
Just because you can afford this much house,
right?
Get the house that you need for right now. I know people don't like when I say this, but you'd rather have more money at the end of the month than more house than money.
It's true.
That part.
The bigger
Right.
the bigger the house is, the more it takes. Okay. Them big tall ceilings, it takes a lot, okay, to heat and cool those houses. So get the house that you need. I'm telling y'all, for the new starters, if you just starting out and you're young, look into this thing called tiny homes. Right, that's a great starting point for you right now. Garden home is a great starting point for you. I know you want to get that 230, that 250, 300,000. Yeah, it looks good on Creels, but nobody's saying that those people rented that episode for the episode that you're watching. They rented that house, they staged that house. They're going back to some probably a lot smaller. Right, stop trying to live with the Joneses and you ain't got no money, you can't go nowhere and can't go on vacation.
Wow.
Get you a nice house that's yours, and you got money at the end of the month.
Yes.
Right? You and your husband, y'all can build up to get something bigger.
Yes.
If you in your 30s and you got your starter home, don't sleep on the neighborhood, okay? Because I'm telling you, I'm one of the guys. Don't sleep on the neighborhoods that you said nobody want to live in. Right. Those neighborhoods are gems in the beginning, right? For you to get started, to make sure you get your feet in the door, get some equity in your house. Because what y'all don't know is when you sell a house, right, and you move into a brand new home, you can take the equity out of that house tax free and put it into another home.
Come on, Joe.
All right.
If you take it out, if you take the tax money out, you got to pay taxes on it.
Create
But if
income.
If you move into another real
Create
estate property,
income.
Create
right,
income.
you know what I'm saying? But so if you move that money, am I right?
That's right.
Right. So if you move, if let's say you bought the house at 50,000 and you sold it for 100, how much is that, America? It's 50,000.
That's
so you
right.
take $50,000 and you move to the next property, you pay no taxes on it.
That's right.
All right.
So now that little investment that you made, right, for 2 or 3 years or 4 or 5 years, whatever the case it may have been, you've made an investment and then you move to a bigger home. And that's just smart. Stop buying these big houses trying to impress your mom and dad and your friends and you can't afford it. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
Oh, about that point. That's so good.
It is.
Can you talk about when I was in the throes of real estate, I found that a lot of clients always, you would say, this is what your budget is. And some people, it wasn't that they couldn't afford a home.
Right.
It was your budget says 150 or 125. Let's be real. Your budget says 125,000 home. Do you find that some people are like, they want a $300,000 home and they keep, how do you talk to them who they're like, but that's just not my taste, the $125,000 home. My taste is more like the $300,000. What do you say to them and how do you handle those clients?
Real life, Keisa. Every day, Keisa. I mean, at home, everyday business we deal with.
Yes.
Yes. Because the houses are beautiful.
Yes.
And of course, we would love, you might want that mansion, and nothing's wrong with it. But again, bring it home. Like Joe said, come down to your budget.
Come on now.
You can live comfortably and still have extra and be able to do it. So what I find is that somebody's budget may be at 200,000. They may be qualified up to 300,000. So what I tell them, go back to the loan officer, talk with that loan officer, find out what your payments are going to be, because bringing those payments home to them, really realizing what that payment would be at this, sometimes that helps to drive them back into the budgeting point that they really, really need to be.
Okay.
And I let them totally make that decision because that's up to you. It's going to be your house. You're going to be in it after you close.
Your bills.
It's going to be your mortgage or what have you. So, but I do say really consider, is this going to work for you? You know, and that's why I don't cater to just a certain price point. Yes, a certain price point helps as far as a financial living aspect for me. Absolutely. But if there are some that need to buy homes 150,000, 100,000, it's harder now because the pricing point has changed.
That's
but
so true.
I love on them just as well as somebody want to buy a $300,000 and $400,000 house, because I feel that anyone that wants to be a homeowner deserves to be a homeowner.
That's good.
It's fine. It does not matter the price of the home.
That's
Whereas in our profession, we do have real estate agents that they have a bracket, and they feel that they don't want to work with these that have this lower pricing budget.
Not just don't feel, Joy. They will not.
They will not. I was being nice,
work
Keisa,
with them.
but
You're right. No, that's why I
But
said it's important to be real now, because there's some they don't care about that point.
Yeah, it's true.
And you have others who you have to have a good agent, because that agent even has to, in choosing to sell my home 5, 6, 7 years ago, there were agents that you had to choose. One agent valued my property lower. It was educated as a homeowner, not even in real estate, but I was like, nah, I can get more because we put all these upgrades here. He valued my home $30,000 less than what I was able to get.
That's huge.
And you have to have that real estate agent who's willing to go there with you.
You do.
And push. You were about to say something.
No, I know what you're saying. You got to know where they pull the comps from too. You know, you got to know where they pull the comps from.
Exactly.
So, but anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But the other part I'm gonna say to y'all is, like you said, of going to what the payments are going to be. That's very, very, very important. But when we're talking about the payments, Joy, I really want to go here.
Okay.
Because a lot of people who don't understand financial or don't think about it.
Okay.
Right? Fixed rate.
Right.
Flexible rate.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I want y'all to understand, okay, for the younger folks in the audience and watching our show today, right here in the Keisa Joe show at the Filter Coffee Parlor, there's a certain thing in banking that, they can get you in real easy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But it balloons at a certain point.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
Now, I'm going to ask you, expert.
Explain.
Like, we know the answer. Some people watching know the answer.
Yeah, explain.
When you first buying a house, what kind of interest rate should you get for your house?
I would say fixed all the time, all day long. I mean, I was in it in that 2018 mortgage ordeal we had, a lot of foreclosures, short sales, and all that going on because of ARM, adjustable rate mortgages.
Yep.
They were doing loans to get the individuals in there, and once they got in there, whether they understood or not, however, it started increasing so rapidly.
Yeah.
The homeowner was not able to keep up with it. And when they increased, like someone would do 6 months, the next 6 months, or some of them the next year or 2 years or what have you, but it was too much. It took them way out of their budgeting. Because
your real estate agent, most of them will tell you, save your money that you're not spending now.
Yes.
What the people were doing was putting money into their houses or buying new cars.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because the money was running around because they was getting money, right? Because sometimes they was even giving you money to get into those houses back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when that happened, that's why the market imploded.
Yes.
Right? And there was a big stalemate in the market because all these nice homes now went on the market because people got foreclosed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Couldn't keep up with some of the payments when that loan material.
Yeah.
I was one of the ones who got into an adjustable rate mortgage. It worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
It stayed, and then when it was time to adjust, it went up, but it didn't go up very much.
Right.
And that is a risk. I mean, that's the good side of it. It doesn't always happen like that.
Yeah.
Lord, there's something that y'all keep mentioning that I'm skirting around that I want her to talk about. I'll come back to it. You got people who are watching Joy. Yesteryears is on there. She says, yes, Joy Everson is the bomb. Tony Wilson says, listen to Keisa and Joe, Tony, and learn how to do home improvements yourself. She says, Tony says, hey, Tony, appreciate you, babe. Says, I'm no home improvement person, but Joe taught me how to change a light switch. So I felt so empowered. Right. So again, that's back good. To that, knowing guy friends who can help you. I'm gonna come back to it.
A lot of times that I would say this, it's always, ladies, y'all can always pull a man. But pull a man that got some skill sets too.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
Yes, thank God for my husband.
Bring that camera close up on me.
Come on now.
Close on me. I'm that dude. You know what I'm saying? I can do plumbing, electrical. I can do painting. I can do all that stuff. As y'all can tell, I know what I'm talking about. A little bit about this, Joy. But all jokes aside, find you a guy that knows something or can at least pay for what needs to be done. And because it's very important when you get ready to buy your house.
That's right.
You need to have knowledgeable people that's going to come into your home and do quality work.
Yes,
absolutely.
The other thing I would say, if you are a homeowner, stop getting shade tree mechanics and shade tree people to come in and work on your house because it costs you more.
Yes,
pay the people that got the license because they guarantee you your work.
That's right.
If their work is bad, they have to come back and fix at no cost.
That's right.
The guy that you paid and he messed up something, and if I'm on a profession, I got to come behind you. Now you got to pay for all of that.
Right. I want to touch on adjustable rates before we move on.
Sure.
And we're not saying that it's not good to do or you can't do.
Yeah.
But know that there's a system that you need to understand.
Yes.
Right. So you go in at that rate, know when it's supposed to adjust, and then you go back and you refinance or what have you. We talked about refinancing. Yes, there may be some funds to come out of pocket or what have you, but just know all of those factors going in, because it can work. Like Keisa said, it worked for her. It can work on someone's behalf, but if you do not stay studious with that adjustable rate mortgage, that's where you will fail.
Okay, Joe, let me go ahead. Joe's been real nice to y'all, America. If your ass don't pay your credit cards on time already, don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Okay? Joe.
Come on. Oh, he just generated the
That's
thought.
true though.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. Adjustable rate, it could work on in your favor, but you keep up with it, is what you're saying. You stay on top of that.
Yes,
you
correct.
don't ignore that. Talk about people going out. You want a home. Oh, I'm getting ready to get a home, but you go out and you're gonna go purchase a new car or a used car.
Did you say that?
Yes, I did. If you're gonna get a home, Joe already told you. He said buy a used car, but when you say you're ready to buy a home,
right?
Don't go out and buy it.
You buy
Talk
nothing.
to us, Joy.
Yes,
say that again.
Yes, you buy nothing when you get ready to purchase. And the loan officer or lender, whichever you choose to use, they have pulled your credit. That's it. You're on halt. Yes. Do not do anything until you have signed all of your documents and that attorney deems it's closed and final.
Thank you.
Because I have literally experienced some clients that did not follow pursue. And I know we tell them as real estate agents over and over again. The lenders tell them over and over again, do not do that. Don't run your credit cards up. Do not go out and buy furniture. Wait till the house closes to buy your furniture. No new vehicles. Everything that you're paying on, continue to pay on them. Do not stop paying on them and wait until it closes.
Yeah.
But I've had someone to go out, buy a vehicle. It threw their debt to income ratio out of whack, and it threw them out of that house. They could not close. So that is real. That is true. Do not do anything. And I mean, we say that, I don't know how many times, and we'd be amazed at how many people do not obey that.
A lot of people don't think that this happens, right? Truthfully. And what it is in layman's terms, they pull your credit once. Well, right before they give you the money, because it takes about 30 to 45 days, maybe 6 days, sometimes 90.
Correct.
Most people 30 to 45
Correct.
days. Right?
They're going to pull it again.
They have to pull it again.
Yes.
Because people, I want y'all to understand, the people that are loaning you that $100,000 or $200,000, $300,000 want to make sure that you haven't changed anything since the last time they looked at your credit.
Right.
So they're going to go look. They're going to do a deep dive one more time on your credit, and anything you do on your name, right? And you knew you barely got by. If you buy a stick of gum, they know that the agents told you not to do it, right? So they know if you went out there and did something stupid, you're going to be reckless with your money.
Yes.
And so they're not going to give you this loan. You're borrowing money $200,000 or $300,000 from somebody, which is the bank. So they're going to check and see, are you the person of your word, right? So do not, like she said, for 90 days, spend any money. But y'all want to go out there sometimes and think that you know better than a real estate agent, and depending on where your credit may be and how much money you got in the bank, right? You screwed. The other thing I want to lay out to people, I'm gonna get back, throw this over to Joy.
You're fine.
The bigger the down payment you can put on your home, right, determines where your note's going to be if your credit is not good. Right?
Correct.
So again, make sure you do your homework. Ask the questions. How can I get, even though you may have a high note, how can I get my note down? Well, the lender's going to come in and tell you, and I'm gonna let you speak to that, Joy. Go ahead.
Good. I want to before I go there, let me go right here. Sure. Employment. Do not change your job.
Do not change your job.
Do not change your job. Do not change your job before closing on a house.
That's right.
Hold your breath for
Stay
45
right.
days.
I mean, you can do it. You done tolerated it this long.
And you're specifically talking when they come in.
Yes.
Not just having a conversation with Joy, the loan officer, but when you come in, you fill out paperwork.
A
loan application, and you get pre-approved.
Yes.
You're not approved at that first juncture. You're pre-approved. When you do that, hold.
Yes.
Hold your breath.
Please.
Go run around the pool every day or go run around the neighborhood every day, but pause. Don't change jobs. Don't do anything.
Right.
Go ahead.
And I don't know. I mean, I share it because from my heart, I'm passionate about what I do from my heart. And I tell them, don't change your credit situation. If it increases, that's great. That's fine. Do not change jobs. do not change jobs. You got to make sure your job is verifiable income. If you do not have verifiable income, don't put that down on that loan application. I've seen people putting that down, and then when it comes times to have to source that job, they don't have it.
I got a real question. Nephew, make this a clip. Okay, this time slide here. Got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I know the answer to it, but I would like for you to answer it.
Sure.
When I give you a down payment
mm-hmm.
on a home,
okay,
it does not close.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get my down payment back?
It's not promised.
You're right. That part.
You talk about down payment or earnest money. So earnest money. So let's talk about earnest money. Yes. Earnest money is not promised to be returned if you do not close on that property. There is a form called a mutual release form that has to be signed by the buyer and the seller. No matter how much verbiage is in the contract, if the seller decides to say they do not want to give you that earnest money back, we've got a dispute going on. So hopefully that maybe we can get to where they will halfen it with the buyer and seller, or the seller go ahead and give it back. But if they choose not to, there are times when it just sits there, and it's going to sit there for like a period of 3 years. Can be interpleaded in the court for arbitration to decide on where it goes. But yes, get it out of your mind.
I actually
put earnest money down. You may not get it back.
I actually lost earnest money once doing that.
And this is why I'm glad you said it. This is why it's important. When you get everything done, hold your breath and don't do anything, because you're going to want your money back.
You will.
If you put down $3,000, $4,000, $5,000,
you want it back.
That's a lot of money, y'all. And nobody ain't got no time to be, dropping that kind of money on another house.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So these are the things that you got to go through when you're going through a house. I won't delay it all out here. I'm glad you're here today, Joy, on the Keisa Joe show to lay these things out with us, because a lot of times you see these shows and they give, these are the home buyers tips. This is what you need to go do. But there are some scary things behind the scenes.
It is.
That's happening.
We don't do the Beavis and Butthead of explaining. Yeah, anything you do is scary.
Yeah.
You date somebody, it's scary. You marry somebody, it's scary. You have a child, it's scary, but you figure it out, right? But it's about knowing how to get through it. And there is a path.
Yes.
With knowledge.
Right.
And then you have to just, do you want to take that dive into marriage, into motherhood, into fatherhood, into home ownership.
Yeah. Correct. That's good.
Well, I like the fact that you're giving giving this information. I have like a couple of questions and all of that. And another thing I just think about, and I'm gonna say this and then let you give people your information, is to be careful too when you sign that contract or put an offer on a home, because a good real estate agent will say, now you're signing this, you're putting an offer in, especially in a competitive situation. If it's chosen, you're in contract. You can't back out, except that owner or the seller may say, yeah, that's fine. I'll go with another offer. They can grant that. But when you're signing these contracts, I had one real estate agent say, yeah, if you're going to sign this and submit it and they choose it, you're
obligated.
You're obligated at that point. So, and I'll tell you what, I've even had as an agent, a person back out on me, sign a contract. He lost his earnest money, but he signed a contract day before he backed out.
Yeah.
He said, I know what's best for me. Now he eventually bought from another agent. That probably was the thing that took me over the top. I'm like, no, I can't be sitting here letting my, you change your mind. I've been with you for 4 months.
Right.
And you change it, but it's his choice.
Yes.
But I'm not wired like that.
Yes.
I'm a little more certain on it. It's like, you taking me down here and you drop me off on the cliff and just like, no, I just changed my mind. No.
Yes.
After all of this time. How do people contact you? That's what you deal with, though, don't you?
We deal with that daily. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
That's why you're an OG in this and I'm not. Because I'm not set up like that.
I don't know. Last week I wanted to send my license back to the state.
That's real. Woo.
It's real, yes.
And can I say this right quick? I'm saying this so you understand. People's livelihoods are on the line.
Yeah, it is.
When you're educating, and that's the risk of being an agent. You're educating, you're taking time. Nobody's paying you for gas money going around here showing houses.
Not at all.
You don't get money until the closing, and then people get upset when they see the check. I've loaned you my services for 3, 6 months, or sometimes 12 months.
Yes. Ooh, don't want to talk about that, but yes, that is. We've invested a lot of monies prior to us receiving a commission check. Yes, up front.
And when you get a commission check, there is that the way it was set up, and maybe it's changing a little bit now, I think, to where the buyer's agent, they have to secure their funds, but
possibly.
But back in the day, when you get a check, that people don't understand this either. As a real estate agent, they see that blanket figure, $10,000. Man, you sure are getting a lot. I got to split with the brokerage.
You got brokerage.
I got to split it with another agent.
Another agent.
My check may be, I'm being transparent. You don't have to answer this. Your check may be $3,000, $3,500 because you got to split that other $5,000 with the other agent, then do fees and all the other stuff.
Correct.
It's not, but again, that's normal. Divide that by the 3 months I've been working with you. That's $1,000 a month. But you are pocketing $150,000. You're pocketing, or if you have a loan, maybe not as much. If you're pocketing $40,000, but this person secured a buyer for you, so we're really gonna try to, you know what I mean? But that's what you deal with.
It is. Everything is negotiable, but you do pay for what you get because as a seller, everything is negotiable.
And when you negotiate at the table, that's the deal.
Yeah, that's it right there.
That's
it.
Everything is negotiable because when I was in real estate, if I'm buying a bunch of houses from you, we finna negotiate. Because I'm putting money in your pocket, right? So we finna negotiate a little bit. But if you're a one-time house buyer, whatever the going rate is, the one thing about the real estate game, to my knowledge, I haven't done it in a long time, but they can't overcharge you your commission. Correct?
Right. It's not an overcharge because there's not a set amount, but
I'm saying, but you can't overcharge. I think it was like 5%, 6%. What is it now?
No, it's not a standard.
That's negotiable.
That's negotiable.
It could be 7 or 8%.
Right.
But you're gonna get what you pay for.
Right. That's the
you
point.
What's
You
going
get
rate
what you
right
pay
now?
for.
So what's the going rate now?
Well, it's not a going rate. We can't say going rate,
Yes,
but there are
negotiable.
options because it is negotiable.
Okay.
Yes.
But if he may be saying average,
I know what he's saying,
would be
but
6%.
That's what I think,
but-
5-6%.
But that one agent, she's not getting the 6%.
No, of course not.
She's getting
She gets
like
part of,
whatever she negotiated with the other agent. She may be getting 3%. That could be standard.
if she's the selling agent,
right.
If
If she's the selling
if
agent,
she's selling, but she's not the selling agent, she's getting.
she may be getting a little less.
She's gonna get a lot
Or
less,
if some of the good agents, they may say, well, you take 3% of this 6%, I'll take 3%. That 50% deal. But Joy is an OG. So Joy may have some she may have some other things that are going there. But
this is why a lot of agencies don't take certain properties because there's no money in it from the time they get to put into it. I said, I get it.
Thank
So
you.
I tell people that a lot of times, right? The people who have the less money want more of your time.
Yep.
That's
Let me
so
say
true.
this again.
Yep.
People who know what they want, right?
Yep.
They already kind of picked it out. So I'm gonna tell y'all this, right? Honestly, it's gonna sound bad, but if you're under $100,000 or $150,000, do a lot of your research first. Go look at the houses, figure out what you want. Don't waste your agent's time because
That's right.
you're gonna lose that agent.
That's right.
After they showed you 3 houses, and then they got to pull up some more houses. You need to do your own legwork. And I'm just saying that it's a bad thing for you, but when you're spending less money, you're going to get less service, unfortunately, from some agents because, like I said, they're spending their money up front, and you may never buy a house, which means they never get paid off of you.
That's right.
They never make any money. I know you don't care as the person trying to buy a house. You don't care, but that's the kind of service you're getting. Just like if you go out and go to work today and you went to work for 3 or 4 days, but they decide not to pay you.
How would you feel?
How would you feel?
How would you feel?
But that's
But that's the reality,
right? So
It is.
I always tell people, ask agents, if you call somebody, what's a good area to buy in? Then you go scout that area, right? And you go peek and look in those little houses and see, okay, is there something I want to look for? If it's a house you want to look in, call the agent.
That's right.
Right? And then you go out there and you look at the house. Or when will you be in this area to show me the house? If you show that agent respect, right, they'll give you more than that.
That's right.
But if you mess around and just call them and say, hey, I want to look at 4 or 5 houses today.
We need a commitment. We need a commitment. Let's commit to each other.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
We gotta get ready to get up out of here, though.
We do.
We do.
Ooh,
Joy,
you gotta tell people how to contact you.
Well, Keisa and Joe, I thank you all. I so gratefully thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
Keisa's my dear friend.
Yeah.
Joe is now.
What the hell, man? I'm gonna put some work in over here too.
Joe
Can I
is
get some
now.
commission? Can I get some commission?
I know.
It's negotiable. But can I get a little
When you
commission?
want it real, I can let Joe do it. Okay, I have license, but I can let Joe give it to you real. All right. But I am Joy Everson, known as the Real Estate Joy the Investor, and I do work with Realty South Shelby, located in Pelham. My number is 205-529-5541.
Too fast. Slow it down and say it twice.
Okay, I am. Ooh, Joe. I am Joy Everson.
No, just telephone number.
All right, my number is 205-529-5541.
One more time.
205-529-5541.
There you go.
You want me to say it one more time?
No, you
Okay.
But I got the radio background, so when people are talking,
Yeah.
sometimes people talk really fast,
Mhm.
and people are not ready. They got to get the pen.
You're right. Gotcha.
Heard some of it. They got to hear one more time.
Catch me on Facebook, Instagram.
Joy Everson,
find me there.
Google her. It's so important who you connect with. There's so many other areas, but when you get a good agent, they're going to protect you from some of those danger zones. And Joy is one of the good ones.
And I
want
want
to help you.
Leave them with this.
Yes.
Know that the listing agent works for the seller. So buyers, if you're out there looking, get you a buyer's agent. Talk to them about negotiating that commission if it has to be. Get a buyer's agent to represent you. If you use the listing agent, they already represent the seller. That is their fiduciary responsibility. Yes, they can work with you, buyer, but they already have their fiduciary responsibility with the seller. Get you
Joy,
a buyer's agent.
You just missed it because you use a big word that a lot of people don't understand. Fiduciary.
Fiduciary, well, it is a responsibility to work on the seller's behalf.
So I break it down in girlfriend terms. So when you're out riding, looking at houses, and you look on the sign, I don't need an agent. Let me go ahead and just call this agent on my own. Let me call the agent on the sign. You go right ahead. But what Joy just said, that agent on that sign is working for that house in which their sign is, not you. Let me say that again. I don't need an agent. I call and working on my own. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, go right ahead. When you call the agent that is on the sign in that particular house's yard, they work for that house. They work for the owner of that house. Think ownership when you see the sign. Don't think, oh, I don't need anybody. Yeah, they'll tell you, oh yeah, I can negotiate the deal for you. Mm-hmm. They will not have your best interest at heart. Mm-hmm. That's why you need your own agent, a buyer's agent, which is what Joy just said. Okay?
Yes.
So, we give people these warnings. You have to take the information and do, and that's what we're trying to do here with Keisa Joe. And we thank you so very much. And they've been watching you this morning talking about these houses.
I appreciate all of you, and I thank you so much.
You're welcome. She's in the throes of it today.
You're looking at me like.
I asked nephew how long. He said an hour and a half. I fell out this chair.
But I told you we had you.
Whoa, but Joe say I got you. I appreciate you all. I really do.
You.
Thank you.
Don't worry about the talking time. But hey guys, do us a favor. Make sure you lock it into the Joe Locker Show this evening from 4 to 6. Then right after that, we keep on rolling. Yes. We got you from 6 to 7 with the Keisa Show. Yes. So you guys stay locked in. We all over the place, man. We love you guys. Today is Hump Day with the niece and nephews on the show.
I gotta give my mother a birthday shout out.
We gotta do 2 birthday shout outs. We ain't finished.
Is somebody else too? My mother, Ruby Sharp. Happy birthday, beautiful.
Where is she? Because she's supposed to be here.
She's asleep. She was up late last night trying to get her birthday gift early. And I was like, no. We'll get it today.
Hey, baby, mama. She's gonna come see your boy. I want you to see this part of the show. I was waiting for you. I'm gonna get you some coffee for your birthday. I'll get you next week though. But before we get out of here, we gotta wish one more person happy birthday.
Nephew.
Happy birthday, nephew.
October 8th. It was yesterday.
Yeah. He's 26 years old.
Awesome.
26 and young and full of vigor.
Bless you.
Yeah. Bless him.
All right, guys. Make sure you guys come on down here to Fifth the Coffee Parlor. They're still gonna be open for the rest of the day. They're open every day. The coffee here is great. As you guys can see, the atmosphere is awesome. All right, we love you guys. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great day.
Great. Bye. Thank you. Appreciate it.